Nevada County. This week has been interesting, to say the least, and I hope everybody is safe and everybody's keeping cool in the warm weather. This week we've seen a lot of people go back to school. That looks different for, I think, every family, but we hope you're settling in and getting into the rhythm of things, and coming up with questions, because we're here to help, and we hope you reach out if you're finding that you're having any issues or struggling with anything. So today we're going to go over some resources that we have available on demand, and how to reach out to the library if you're needing a little extra assistance. So first, I'm actually going to go through a few random resources that we've found to be helpful. So the first one is Photomath, and this is an app, and if you're helping your student with math problems and you're struggling on your own, this is a tool that you can use to help yourself. So basically it's fairly simple. So you scan the problem, it gives you the solution, and it does a step-by-step of how to get the answer. So you take a picture of the math problem, and it reads and solves the math problem instantly. It might not always be totally instantaneous, but it does scan and help find the steps to give you that solution, which is really great. It's really helpful, and it's just one of those random tools out there that we've found that can help people who don't remember their math classes from elementary through high school, and need a little bit of a memory boost, or figuring out how the step-by-step math issues work these days. So another way to find assistance is the Warmline Family Resource Center. This link is through the Community Support Network of Nevada County. So it's about distance learning in your family, but this can also be helpful if you're homeschooling or doing the pod learning, whatever distance learning or learning at home that your family is using. They've got resources that can help, and we'll go through all of these links and take a look at what kind of things you can find here. And a First 5 Nevada County is also a wonderful resource if you've got a younger child at home and you're doing more preschool activities. So here is their link for resources for students with autism, and you can see here that they've got resources to explain COVID-19. They've got resources just for home learning, if you're doing homeschooling or that kind of thing. They've got resources for distance learning, for teachers and for families, and then apps and things to help focus, literacy, math, social skills. So this is a great site if you've got somebody who has some learning challenges. Next one is just kind of a list of resources on children who don't learn well in front of a computer, because not everyone learns the same way. So here they've got a great video that goes through a bunch of tips. They've got a resource list that you can download and print. They've got webinar, all sorts of things on here for different resources. You can also get COVID-19 resources for family. You get early childhood tips. Just a bunch of helpful hints there. And again, this was all on the Warmline links. So here's some 8 tips for helping learn at home. Create a learning space for your child. So we'll talk about that. How to create a space indoors and outdoors. It doesn't matter, wherever you're comfortable. It might not be outdoors right now, but later on in the year, maybe if they're still doing distance learning, an outdoor space might be a great way to mix things up and help with focus. Make a schedule and stick to it. So the last couple of weeks we've posted videos on how to make a schedule. It can look a bunch of different ways, depending on what works for you and what works for your family, what works for your child. So we've done a board game schedule, we've done the bullet journaling scheduling. That can be for you or for your child or for both. It might be more of a visual schedule, it might be just pictures on a wall, it might be, coloring in on a clock, just whatever works for you, and they have a bunch of different tips within that tip. So reduce distractions, like they say, video games, computer games, TV, toys, pets, lots of distractions, and that's kind of an addendum to creating the right kind of space. So what's the best way to block out those spaces? And use a calendar, so that's scheduling. So every day doesn't have to look the same. Again, every day can look different. You don't have to do everything every day. You don't have to try to do an 8-hour day. Break down your calendar into something that works for you, and now's the time to figure that out, because I know orientation this week. Several of my coworkers said, "Oh, we thought we were prepared, and then school started up and we feel like, oh, maybe we weren't as ready as we thought we were. There were issues that came up." So it's okay to break the schedule and change as you go on, as you're learning how to do this. Get plenty of exercise. So do give your kids and yourself space to move around. We have this great video on dealing with anxiety around distance learning. It can be a very anxious time for you and for your child. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Learning isn't perfect. It's about making mistakes. And so see which accessibility features help your child. So most devices have built-in assistive technology. See what you can use and talk to your teachers. There are tips for teachers on using video. Reach out to your school's teacher, your child's teacher. So they are crazy busy right now. I know it sometimes can be hard to take that time, but if you write them an email, that's generally the easiest way to they can get to it when they have a moment. Just reach out and let people know you're struggling. Communication is really important to distance learning. So look for ways to remove learning barriers. We just looked at that link. If you have learning challenges or autism, there are extra support measures in place for people who need a little bit of extra support. So there's just some great tips, and you can get to that link and check it out on your own. Building strengths. Pick one skill for your child to work on at home. So again, you don't have to try to hit everything. One skill at a time is perfectly okay. So focus, vocabulary, math, writing. You can even do life skills, washing up, working with money, getting ready for bed. Social and emotional skills, not interrupting if you're working at home. It's a skill to learn. It's part of learning. So this is a learning opportunity as well, just getting by day-to-day stuff, coping with challenges, picking up on body language. So there are a bunch of tips and strategies in that link. Focus on 5 tips for parents for home learning. So these are great. These are kind of like the bullet journals we talked about previously. It's just really clear. First, then schedule 1, 2, 3. It doesn't even have to be 9 a.m. math, 10 a.m. reading. It can be just like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to get through, your checklist in whatever way that looks like that day. And you don't, again, have to get to everything. As long as you have, your to-do list and you know what you need to do. It's okay to get to it when you can. So we're creating the schedule. We have a bunch of tips for that. Timers can be helpful. Alarms can be helpful. Making rules for learning time. So have rules. that are easily accessible if we need reminders, and rules that we agree on. So sit down and talk to your child about those rules, because that definitely helps. If they're a part of that rule-making or decision-making process, it definitely helps keep those rules. Motivate your child with tokens. Motivation can look however you want to look. It can be a chart, it can be stars, it can be whatever it is. It can be points. It can be, time outside or time with you, or, picking a dinner, picking the dessert for that day, or a meal for that day, or, some kind of treat, or whatever else. Reinforcers work long-term, bribery does not. So that's a good tip on there. Use simple teaching strategies. And these are great videos, super helpful, super straightforward, practice life skills. So again, that's, part of learning at home is that day-to-day, how to do just kind of the basic things that maybe you don't always think about, like, hey, building IKEA furniture even, and some extra tips. So you can read through these, and you don't have to go through and try to dive into every single link right now. Just as you come up against stuff, you can search through and say, okay, I'm having trouble, we're struggling with this specific task. What's a tip for that? And try it out and see what works. Trial and error. Your child isn't the only one who's learning. We're also all learning together. All right, so now that we've gone over all those kind of random resources that we found, let's go back to the county library website. So that's at mynevadacounty.com/library. If you go to online resources, you can see we have all resources, children's resources, and teens resources. So all resources has absolutely everything we can find. Definitely take a chance and explore what we've got. If you just click on the heading here, you can see a list of them all. So I'm going to start here at children's resources. And right here at the top we have Britannica. So these are our encyclopedia. So we have one in Spanish, and then we have our school edition for elementary, middle, and high school students. We have our College Prep Center, and then we have the Digital Public Library of America and EBSCO. So if you're working on a project or a presentation, the Encyclopedia Britannica, the Digital Public Library, and EBSCO are great resources for that. They've got tons and tons of things to help support and make that a really well-rounded project. So up next we have Anki, and that's a place to go for, novels, fiction, and nonfiction as well. So the other one we have like that is Library to Go, and then we also have RB Digital, and those are kind of your resources for ebooks, audiobooks, and things like that. So here next we have, let's see, if you need to take a break in your day, if you need something more creative, an outlet, hobbies and crafts is a great way to go. We also have grab bags available at some branches, so give your local branch a call and see what they've got available if you need a little extra creativity and you're totally out of ideas. Or if you're not, if you just want some extra fun stuff, we have stuff available. Next up is Hoopla and Canopy. And Hoopla might be for if you need a bit of a break. We've got music albums, which are great, ebooks, audiobooks, comics. We did a talk recently this summer about how graphic novels can be used to help support literacy. They're a great tool for that, so Hoopla is the way to go with that. They also have TV shows and movies, so if you need a little bit of a downtime, that's a great, like a movie night for a treat or something, that's a great place to go. Canopy is a wonderful place for independent and documentary films, so if you need a little bit support about social cultural classes, that's a great place to go. They also have great courses, so if you're struggling in an area and you're not really understanding from like textbook or something, try to check out Canopy, see what documentaries or great courses they have on it, because that can be helpful as well. The Learning Express library is the other tool for that. So if, again, you're struggling in a specific area, they've got practice tests, exercises, and skill building courses, and extra ebooks if you need help in a specific area. And that's for everybody, actually, because it can help at school, at work, or in life. So if you're struggling personally with something as well, you could check that out. But if your child is struggling with a specific area of learning, this can be a really great tool, Learning Express Library. So Novelist is another great place. So since the library buildings are currently closed, not everybody has access to the book browsing. And, it can be hard to pick a new book when you can't, browse through the shelves. So Novelist is a great place to go if you're not really sure what to suggest for your young reader. If they maybe have to come up with a book report and they're allowed to choose their own book, try checking out Novelist and get some recommendations, or just for fun as well. We definitely appreciate reading for fun as well, so this is a great place to go. And there's a Novelist for adults too if you're looking for something for yourself. So Pronunciator is a great tool for learning languages. So if you started language classes and you need some little extra help with that, Pronunciator is a great place to go. As I said, RB Digital, they've got audiobooks, they've got magazines. So I'm going to get back to School Center in just a second. I'm going to skip over that for now, though, and go to teaching books. So these are great literacy resources. They've got author interviews, readings, videos, lessons. So especially for the homeschooler, this is great for helping with teaching reading and reading skills. They've got lesson plans all prepared for you. You don't have to do anything extra. They've got it. They've got a great resource there. And then Tumble Books are ebooks for kids. So this is a great resource if you're not finding the kind of ebooks that you want in our other ebook areas. It's a good place to start as well. Finding the right ebook to listen to or view on your home computer. So School Center, I'm actually going to dive into a little bit more. So this is the EBSCO, again, Learning Express. So here it's broken up by elementary, middle, and high school, and it helps. It's about the resources in the center work towards a common core standard. So if that's something that you're needing to reach, that you're a little bit concerned about, this is a great place to check in on. So if you've got a question and you're like in the middle of a geometry lesson and you guys are really struggling, this helps start with grade 4, grade 5, checking out build your geometry skills with practice sets, with practice tests, and then if you want to use them, you do have to sign in or register. So what you would need with that, if you're registering, you say your institution, and that should come up automatically if you've clicked through the link from the library website. It says, are you a citizen of this? You put your name, your first name in, your email, and a password, and that's how you get logged in. So I've already signed up. I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And here, it allows you to start a test. So and what's great about this is you also have a mobile app that you can get that extra assistance with. And if you get up into high school, you can see more practice and tutorials and ebooks for different areas. So they've got biology, chemistry, earth science. If you are working on science skills for younger ages, we do have a program coming up in September, which we're really excited about. With Amy from Grass Valley is going to start doing random acts of science on Tuesdays at 4. So she's got some really great stuff lined up every Tuesday for a little bit of extra science support. So you can come to the library, pick up a kit, and do the experiment along with her. So that should be pretty fun and exciting, and hopefully we'll have lots of those extra kind of things coming up. And if you have anything that you're struggling with already, or if you find that you're struggling with something, give us a call. You can call your local library. Their numbers are listed here under the locations for the library branch, or you can reach out, if we click on How Do I here, can reach out through Contact a Librarian. If you just want to shoot us an email, you can just fill out the form and we'll email you back. And that's helpful if you have like a research project or something that you need help with. If you fill out the online form with that, we can do some background reading and then get back to you and with all of the resources that we have on whatever topic you need help with. Okay, well, I hope that that's helpful, and please reach out and let us know if you need any help. You can comment on this video and let us know if you have any specific questions or need any specific resources, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much, and stay safe in Nevada County.